Now I'm going to briefly describe to you how you actually play with the permissions for blogs, and this would apply to other areas. It's actually quite complicated, but I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible. There's actually three places that you edit the permissions. There's one which is inside this little control icon here. There's one here under this permissions tab, and there's one here. Now I'll start with the one that's here first of all, because this is easiest to explain. This permission alters whether people can actually comment and add a discussion about your blog. So when you click on permissions here, you're actually altering whether people can actually comment on what you've put. You can see you can do everything because you're the owner. Student is sort of allowed to do, says there, actions view in all items of the blogs. And you can change that somewhere else if you don't want students to have a look. And community members can add to that discussion or view the current discussion, what's going on. So let's just go back to the full page. The other place you can edit permissions is here. Now that button there tells you who can actually add an entry to the blog. So if you had a number of people on the team you wanted to add entries, or you could do that. So you could actually enable any community member to add an entry or to subscribe. Subscribe means they get updates sent to them so they know when something's been added to the blog. And that community member could be a team member if it's a team learning space, or it could be a student if it's a collaborative learning space. Let's just return to the main screen. The third place you can play with the permissions is up here via this little tab. So I'll click on that little point and click on configuration. I'll try that again. And you'll see the control box comes up again. We've already done some of this here, so we'll click on the permissions here, and this actually determines who can actually see that blog. So currently I can access it in the control panel, which is another place. I can configure it, and I can also view it. You'll see community members can view that actual blog portlet, but they can't configure it or access it in the control panel. So if I was to unclick that, that would mean only owners of the site could actually view that blog. It would totally disappear off the screen for everyone else. And that's pretty important, because if you set up a space, say a collaborative learning space with students, and you want to have a tab at the top here which is teacher only, you have to make sure all the portlets are unticked for student and unticked for community members, so that only owners, and you make all your teachers owners. So that explains in a nutshell how the different levels of permissions work, and that should apply, I would assume, to other learning spaces as well. So I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about blogs. You can watch it over and over again. There's probably more to learn, but that's a really good starting point. See you next time.